Hello everyone, I'm Deepak Padil, founder and CEO at WebPlanners. Today I'm covering the topic how to increase your search engine optimization rankings and boost qualified leads through your website. So if you have a website and you're looking to get higher rankings, or you're already generating certain traffic and you like to improve the website traffic, this webinar would be super helpful. I'm going to walk you through the process of how you can get the higher traffic to your website and what are the important factors that you need to know as a business owner or as a marketer, so that will help your business. So I'm pretty sure you all have heard about Google or search engine optimization. So basically whatever query that business or user puts on search engine, and when they have few options available at the top or on the first page, they tend to make that query to that website, and getting higher ranked or getting your website at the higher rank will help you to get more traffic, more business, and more qualified leads for your business. So SEO strategy is super important and should be central part of your activity or the digital marketing. So what we always say is, yes, you can do Google ads, yes, you can do social media ads, yes, you can do um, LinkedIn strategy, but having the website, because all this traffic will look for you on or check your website, and when they check that website, if you have really high quality good website which is answering to the certain questions that user have or showing the exact information in a really nice way format, it will really help to get high authority traffic, which will get more and more leads. So while you're doing all of the promotion, you also have to make sure that as a business or as a digital marketer, your website is the central part of your digital marketing strategy. Then how you can apply that and how you can get more customer, or what is your ideal customer are looking for. Once you understand that, what they're really searching for, and how you can get there at the top so that you can get that traffic to your website, I'm going to explain that in the next few slides. So before I go into that, I would like to just give you a quick brief about who we are as WebPlanners. So WebPlanners is a digital marketing agency. We are based here in Melbourne. We have clients across Australia. We worked with more than 9 to 10 years now, and we have worked with the 500 plus websites to harness the power of SEO strategy to drive qualified traffic to their website, generate leads, ultimately turn leads into the customers. We worked with the branding, website, search engine optimization, advertising your business on digital platforms, social media strategy, content marketing, getting your post viral, and providing you technical service such as integration, server setups, and things related to anything related to the website or to the digital marketing. What is search engine optimization? I guess I don't need to explain much more, but once you search certain things on your website and you see the results, and when you see those results, the website is optimized in the backend, so that's why it is showing certain results at the top, so that that would help your business to get higher traffic. So most of you, before I go into what are the main strategy, I need to understand the psychology behind the SEO strategy. So I'm pretty sure you have heard the crass SEO sales pitch that never lives up to the hype. I mean, someone might just say, we get you rankings within 60 days, 90 days, get us ranking or don't pay us, so you must have heard all those things. We want to stay away from all of that, because the good SEO strategy will help you identify and work towards the bigger picture by addressing where you want to be as a business, where are you now, what sort of visitors, rankings that you're getting, and how you're going to get there where you want to be. So these are super important to understand, that it's not just about getting certain few rankings at the top and you're done for the SEO strategy. It's much more deeper and vast topic. So if you're really looking to improvise your rankings, but at the same time you're looking to improvise overall representation on your search engine, this is the webinar that will really help you and answer those questions for you, how you can get there and what are the things that you need to consider as a business owner. So our SEO strategy is based on 9 topics that covers understanding your website objective, topic cluster, speed test, on-page site inspection, link building, a content strategy and calendar, social signals, content audit, and conversion efficiency. I'm just going to go one by one onto all those 9 topics here so that you get a better idea what do I mean by having those 9 strategy aligned together. They're working in a cohesion so that you have a better structure for your website and get higher traffic, higher rankings for your website. So number one part comes is the website objective. Before you work on what sort of keywords that I need to get ranked on, I think you need to also go back to your drawing board and work out your business or marketing plan. Some of you might already have, some of you may not have, but along with your business plan, your marketing plan is also important. And once you know that, you can align that overall SEO or overall digital marketing strategy to the marketing plan. It doesn't need to be the pages of the marketing plan or the book on the marketing plan. It can be simple 1 or 2 pages of the marketing plan. And once you know that what sort of marketing plan that you have, you can work out what sort of keywords that I want, and once someone lands on my website, what they really need to do. So it could be like booking an appointment, buying product or services. It could be signing up to your email list or learn more about your business. So these are super important part of your website objectives. And then once you know that, you can work out how you can implement them, and then come to have a bigger picture on the search engine optimization strategy. So the second part comes to that is the creating topic cluster. So you need to have a really good pillar content and then related content. So I'll just give you a very simple example to make it very simple here. So let's say, for example, we have one business with where they sell trampoline, and trampoline selling, generally being an e-commerce business, they want to display their product. At the same time, what we suggested them, or what sort of pillar content for this type of e-commerce business should be trampoline buying guide. So trampoline buying guide is super important because everyone who buys the trampoline, they have few questions like what size it should be, how safe it is, what sort of backyard you need to have, and also based on the age, what trampoline works the best. These questions, if you answer into one main big article, and then you have some smaller article related to that, that would give you really good topic cluster, and that gives a better authority for your website. User feels that you are a trustworthy source because you know what you're selling, and you can link the products as well in between the content so that it's highly recommended personally from you. So that's how the topic cluster work, and that's sort of additional content we like you to add. It's not just adding extra blogs to your website and no one reads them. It's about creating useful article for your user as well as for Google, so that once you have such article like big articles which is answering to the questions, Google will rank you higher at the topic. How to identify those topic clusters? Pick your topic, identify subtopics related to that, keep your keywords in mind, what sort of keywords you're targeting, and develop your pillar pages. So link all related topics, subtopics, and measure results. Always measure results, because once you start writing this topic that you want to create, you always want to make sure you measure the result. It gives you good motivation to write the next article. It also gives you if certain things not working, you might need to change, and you don't have to just keep doing efforts if they're not producing a good success. Second part that comes in, the third part that comes into this strategy is the speed test. So your website needs to have good page speed, and I'm not going to go more in detail, it's a little technical, but at the same time, there are certain tools available on the market like Pingdom, Google Page Speed, GT Metrics, and those tools will give you the idea what sort of page speed that your website have and what sort of optimization you need to do. You being a business owner or marketer may not need to learn or understand some of the areas that we mentioned here, how you can have the better page speed, but you can create that as a KPI for your marketing team, for your development team, like, okay, this is my page speed, this is my page speed score, how we can improvise that. And when you're having those weekly, monthly, quarterly meeting, you can measure that as one of the main factor or the KPIs for your marketing team. It's super easy to measure, and your development team can do the work in the back end. The fourth part comes is the on-page site inspection. I'm pretty sure all of you heard about what is on-page, off-page. So on-page is basically having your website or the topic or the product page or the service page is well optimized for the search engine. So it has a good title tag, HTML code is optimized, the URL is properly from SEO friendly, it has a good content or the required content, and there's images are available which you can name or tag them for search engines as well as for user, and that overall area will create a good user experience once someone lands on the website. So making sure that you have the good on page is super important. Again, there are tools like Google SERP snippet optimization tool or Screaming Frog is available, and those tools will give you idea where you are, and even if you don't do that or check them, you can use this as a KPI with your SEO team or the development team, checking every quarter where your current score are and how you're improvising on those factors. So that way your website is optimized and your team is more accountable for the results that they're producing. The fourth part comes is the link building. Fifth part, sorry. The link building and backlinks are essential word of confidence for your website. So the more backlinks you create from the different network will create a network for your website which Google search engines checks and see that okay, you're getting really good traffic, and if you're getting traffic from those links as well as the links, that will improvise the overall ranking for your website. There are ways to do this, how to get links. So I'm not going to go again more in detail on this, but it's basically just the idea of it increases your search engine rankings, it drives website traffic, it gives you good brand exposure. The more people come from the different sources, you're exposing your brand to the different authorities or the links. It helps you to boost sales and revenue, and it also helps you to establish your brand as an authority voice, and it also gives you continuous and sustained referral traffic. So basically it offers the promotion, it offers the more visibility from the different sources, and that helps you to get higher ranking as well. So it's like add-on benefit that you get from the additional traffic, but also improve your traffic or the rankings for the website. How to acquire blog backlinks? There are a number of channels, like you can use guest blogging, social media promotion, manual outreach. Link building can be one of the most powerful tools for organic success. The better links that you get from your outreach that you're doing, you will have the really good exposure for your website. The next part comes is the content strategy. So content strategy is basically finding out like what sort of content that we need to have. Content cannot always be just the written words, but it could be also video, audio, or written content. Nowadays audios are also quite popular, like podcast, but using that single piece of content to the different medium is also important. For example, you have done really good podcast and it's driving good traffic either to your LinkedIn page or to your profile or to your website. At the same time, you might can get your VA or someone within your business to transcribe that audio file and then publish that on your website. So that gives that extra content. So you can use one content piece or part of your content to the multiple channels by putting little extra effort, so you don't have to keep creating new topics all the time. So we always say like it's very important that you know what is your content strategy, how many times you're going to create content, what sort of content you're going to create, and that once you know that, you can put like more organized content calendar to to keep producing the better content. So once you develop your content ideas and bed it down a strategy, you need to break down content into actionable tasks each month, so that will help you keep organized. It is excellent for the brainstorming. It will improve consistency. It keeps your audience engaged. It's crucial for other team members to stay in the know and enable you to plan your social media marketing, keep track of your performance. Again, measuring what is your content, how it is performing is super important. The next part comes is to the social signals. So social signals is basically refers to web page collectively shares, likes, and overall social media visibility. So any post that you do on LinkedIn or Facebook, and that is creating certain sort of engagement. Generally, if you have post and if you link back to certain article, products, services to your website, it's really good to get that traffic back from your social channels to your website. Now it might not improvise your rankings based on that factor, but more visits that you get on your website, it will improve the popularity index of that article, and that popularity index article will ultimately help you in get a better position for your website. Then website content audit is also super important. You might have written number of posts in the past, written number of content. So trying to find out what has worked for you in the past, trying to see whether you can add any new information to that. Maybe you have some financial related article in 2019 which may not be relevant to 2022, and part of it is still relevant, so you can create updated to 2022, and you can rewrite certain areas or information to make sure that you still like getting the good audience, and audience feel like, okay, this is not an old article that is not relatable now, it's updated article, so creates better engagement. So that's how you need to create audit your website, audit from the content perspective. It's generally for the businesses who already producing a little bit of content or more content over the past, and keep redoing that or updating that content. Now, since based on the previous part that I mentioned, now if you start doing the content now, again, that is super important, but in few months you can go back and see your articles and re-audit them and see where they are performing well, not performing well, and you can repurpose them as well, based on the latest need and the latest trend of the market. So conversion and efficiency and measuring success is super important, which is the last part. So you need to have the KPIs such as your page speed, your on-page score, your click-through rates, average time on your website, page views, and those are the KPIs that you can set up for your marketing team or your SEO team or the outsourced company that you're using, so that way you keep them accountable. Also, it gives you like little idea of like how much more you can do by using search engine optimization strategy. You can use those KPI for your overall marketing as well, not just for the search engine optimization. So how the right SEO strategy benefits small businesses. If you want to know like some of the case studies from our experience that I'm just putting it down here, I'll quickly go through them one by one. So Wet Resources, one of the businesses, does the B2B marketing, and we help them to get 13 keywords in top position over the period of 8 months. That generated traffic from 600 visits to 3,800 visits, and that has really helped them to gain more and more sales and get qualified leads for their sales team. Fox and Hart is the e-commerce business, and what we have really helped them to get 9 keywords in the top 3 rankings, which is very competitive keywords in the industry, and by doing that, the website traffic has really increased. The traffic is even more now compared to what is written here. So it's really helping them to get more and more traffic and more keywords at the top by using those 9 pillar strategies that I mentioned earlier. MCG Computer, we're working with them for quite a long period of time and generated almost 14,000 visits for the B2B site, which is really incredible. Soon Maternity is the e-commerce business. We help them to get 19 keywords on the first position. Of course, that helped them to get more traffic, more business, more sell. Melbourne Boat Hire, we're working with them for more than 4 years, and the traffic has gone from 600 visits a month to 6,000 visits. That's a really huge 900% traffic growth. Updog Yoga, local business, and through Google My Business listing, we help them to increase the traffic by 120%. So that they get like good local rankings for someone searching for yoga studio, and that helps them to get more and more customer for their business. So if you have any questions, anything in particular, please contact me on these details, and please stay connected. You can search Deepak Patil on LinkedIn, and we can get in touch over there as well. So thank you for listening to me.